Hello everybody, hope everybody's doing great today. Appreciate those of you who watch this video. I hope you enjoy it. Also appreciate those of you who have subscribed. Thank you very much. And today we're talking about the spy who shagged me. The spy who loved me, starring Roger Moore. This is his third time playing James Bond. And for these first three movies, I do believe this one's probably the best one of Roger Moore of his first three. Each movie, he does get better and better. So let's get into the spy who shagged me. His leading lady in this one's the lovely Barbara Bach, who plays, or I probably messed up her last name, but anyway, she plays Triple X. Wondering if this is when, you got a lot more Triple X theaters going on. Anyways, it's another one of those innuendo names, Probably the most innuendo name that's just out there right in your face was Pussy Galore. But this one's pretty close to being very sexual. Especially for those who like those Triple X movies. Anyways, so let's get into the spy who loved me. He starts off with a great little ski chase at the beginning of the movie, and this one's done a lot better than our Majesty's Secret Service. This one we got I feel like it was better shot. And one thing about these James Bond movies, as you're watching them through history from the beginning to the more present, you can actually see like the advancement in making films, the advancement in technology. Let me get this right: the advancement in technology of making films. Each one you can kind of see the advancement of how they shoot these chase scenes and just how they shoot different shots and sceneries and stuff. So it's really cool as I'm going through the history of James Bond, seeing how movies were made in the 60s. Now getting here late 70s, and just a great advancement with these chase scenes and how much better they look now than they did at the 1961, I think was the first James Bond. So really like that. And so, with this advancement in technology, the great chase scene of the skiing was really well done, especially for that time period. Of course, you get the iconic British parachute scene as he's going down. I think it's a Union. Is that called a Union Jack? I don't really know my British flags very much, but you get that great parachute scene going down, and it's kind of iconic for this movie. This movie does have a lot of iconic scenes and gadgets in here. We got the great car. Let me see. I gotta make sure I read this right. I'm probably still mispronounced it, but the car was a Lotus Esprit or something like that. That's how you pronounce the last name of it. It looks really good in this movie. Fantastic. I guess doing a little bit of research in here, when it came out, the James Bond was so popular that it took, if you bought one of those cars back then, it took you 3 years to get it in your hands. So that's how popular it became after it was in this movie. You also got the first jet ski in this movie, and, introducing the world to jet skis. And at this point, because James Bond was such a big phenomenon and cultural icon, people were clamoring to get their products into a James Bond movie, get their cars, jet skis, any kind of little new gadget they wanted in the James Bond movie. So people would buy it, and, it worked, right? And then we have, and also I feel like there's a lot of underwater scenes in this movie, and these are a lot better shot than the scenes in Thunderball, which also shows the advancement in the technology of making these movies. It's a lot clearer. Maybe they learned from the first time. Maybe that's why it looks a lot better this time. But the underwater shots are fantastically done in this movie. And of course, we get another villain here who likes to use sharks as his little killing machines, I guess you can say. But, they still don't got lasers on their head. We need some freaking lasers on these sharks' heads. Maybe they'd be more efficient in killing Bond if they had a laser beam on them. But yeah, so it's kind of like, to get these movies do kind of like a returning theme to them. Got another underwater theme to this one. Guy who likes to use sharks, car chases, reverting back to a ski chase. You got a guy using a motorcycle. I think, is that the first motorcycle chase? I can't remember. But, I don't think there's a boat chase this time. There is some submarines going on. But, you got to put in those elements that make a Bond movie great. And also in this movie, you get the iconic Jaws henchman in this movie, played by Richard Kiel. I guess I just read this. You can see those Jaws that he used in the Spy Museum there in Washington, D.C. So if you want to see the Jaws that he put in his mouth, you can go there and visit them and see them. I haven't seen them. Haven't been to the Spy Museum, but it'd be interesting to see, I would think. I heard it was very uncomfortable for the guy. But, you know, we see Jaws for the first time. I think he's only in 2 movies, right? And then the second movie here, the one after this one, Moonraker, he finds the love of his life. Kind of turns into a good guy. So Jaws has a good, happy ending for him. And he's basically unkillable in this movie. I mean, he's falling off cliffs. He's wrestling and fighting a shark. Gee, one of these. Only person I thought could kill a shark was Laura Croft, you know, Angelina Jolie, just hit it in the nose. But, you know... Good old Jaws, he gets him in a headlock and starts pounding him and biting him with those jaws, and there goes the shark. I do think this is like one of the better Bonds. I really do enjoy this one. Barbara Bach does a pretty good job playing the female lead here is Triple X. She's not the most competent spy, I guess. I guess because she's going against Bond, she always has to lose, right? Even when you think she wins and she gets the film that her government's looking for, he was one step ahead of her and took all the important stuff out of the film. But she was able to knock him out with some good old smoke. So she could have done him in right there if she wanted to get a revenge. So you do have kind of like an opposite revenge of this one. You know, back when on Her Majesty's Secret Service, James Bond's love of his life dies. Next movie, he's getting revenge for her. This movie, Barbara Bach's character's love of her life gets killed, most likely by James Bond. She vows to get her revenge for her love of her life, but then she kind of betrays her love of her life and falls in love with James Bond there at the end. So I guess when you say the title is The Spy Who Loves Me, it's talking about her loving James Bond, not James Bond loving her. Because, you know, James Bond only has one love. Everybody else are just, you know, fun girls to be with. Let's just say that. So we do got a pretty cool underwater sea base here. I thought that was very well done, very well modeled and shot, especially when it's showing it come out from the ocean. I thought that was very well done, especially for that time period. Probably took a lot of time and planning for them to do that. I think that was very well done, though it was kind of failed in one area with the special effects, if you want to call them, and that's when they're in the big ship. And the villain here, he's kind of getting in the way or traveling from the big ship. He wants to go to his sea base, so he's in like a speedboat. So he shoots out of this huge ship, and as he's going through landing onto the ocean, you kind of can tell that it's a toy model, and like the people that are in this little boat leaving the ship is actually not like toys. I guess you could say look like G.I. Joe men, but I don't know. Besides that, I feel like the special effects and they used in this movie works. You can't really tell too much of the fakery. That's the only one that really stuck out. It's only like a split second. Really did dig the car being underwater. I think that actually worked. I think they actually got that car to go underwater, which was fantastic. Got some good stunts like that, like the parachute. Like I said, the skiing at the beginning where the guy goes off the cliff and he pulls his parachute. That's a dangerous stunt right there. So you got some pretty cool stunts and set pieces for action. Great chase scenes, which is, you know, important for a James Bond movie. You got to have those chase scenes in there. And then the exotic locations they chose for this movie was Egypt. Fantastically done. I've really liked some of the wide shots where we got to see like the mountains, which were probably in Italy because they do speak Italian. But I really did enjoy that, and the scenery, get really see Egypt and the ruins and stuff like that. Really kind of brought Egypt to life. Or not back to life, but into life on the screen. Get to experience the beauty of that area of the world. And then you got the major theme of here is kind of like the fear of nuclear war. The villain here, I guess he wants to destroy the world so he can create a new world in his image, a world that he could rule. It's the idea. So he gets some nuclear weapons so he can bomb everybody. And so it kind of feels into that fear during the Cold War of like a nuclear Holocaust thing that's going to destroy everything. I don't know if people really fear a huge nuclear war. I mean, nobody really thinks about it as much these days until you see it on the news when they talk about, if Russia's going to lose, they might, nuke Ukraine and stuff like that. It could be like a big nuclear world war. But that's the only time you really hear it, and I don't think you don't really hear people talking about it as much as you did back during the Cold War. Overall, this is a great movie. If nobody's seen James Bond and this was lying around, I would show it to them and say, hey, check out this one. I don't know if Roger Moore at this point is better than Sean Connery. My wife loves Roger Moore. I've probably said that 100 times now. She despises Sean Connery. To me, they're probably neck and neck. Probably enjoy Sean Connery just a little bit, but don't tell my wife. She's not in the room right now. Anyways, let me know what you think about The Spy Who Loved Me. Do you enjoy it? Do you hate it? What do you like about it? What do you hate about it? Do you think this is one of the better James Bonds and the James Bond catalog? Let me know. Have a great day. And until next time, bye.